When someone says something to me and irritated me, the longer the thought sticks into my head, the more it's going to alternate or change my perception of reality, and the more it's going to change my behavior. Eventually, it's going to repeat over and over and over again into my brain, and I realize the more it repeats over and over into my brain, the more it becomes wired into me. I don't want any negative circumstance and thoughts to be wired into me about anyone or anything. The more I grounded my emotions right after workout, the more I got over it. The more I saw the circumstance, instead of saying that guy's a dickhead, I'll be like, you know what, he's just having a rough day, or he's just, a weak-minded person. But I'm weaker for falling for it. I'm weaker for getting affected by it. I want to be that kind of guy who you can say shit, anything to my face, anything. It just deflects off. That's why I resonate a lot more with people who get bullied, skinny people, females, because a lot of times females get pushed around, made fun of. They get more. With females, you got to deal with a lot of men. And there's a lot of weak men who are a bit more emotional than fucking men. More emotional than females nowadays. And you're going to deal with a lot of insecure men. If you're like a stripper or an escort, I can only imagine the amount of shit you deal with. Or if you're divorced, you're going through a divorce or something challenging in terms of relationship. Holy shit, it's going to be tough. Even if you're mad, it's not really male or female. It doesn't really fucking matter. If you're feeling emotionally weak, a part of you feels weak. Strength training, from my experience with dealing with so many different characters and people, would deal with that weak emotions. Because whatever emotion we're feeling that's just grounding us, it feels like baggage. It feels like a weight that's holding us down. When we do a hard training session, uplift our feelings emotionally, and we ground our emotions, and we don't feel any sort of negativity, it gives us a reset button. And it gives us the ability to tackle our day with clarity. Doesn't mean it deals with any sort of trauma or stuff like that in the past, no, but it gives us the ability to reflect and realize, okay, well, fuck, every time I smoke weed, way too much weed, it's a financial issue. That's what I realized growing up. At one point I was heavily addicted to marijuana. I don't even know why I started, but eventually I used it as an easy way to deal with my financial stresses. Then I realized every time I was financially stressed, I smoked weed. I didn't have to dissect it. All I needed to do is cut the marijuana out, ground my emotions, get myself reset my emotions through my day, and then focus on my financial issues. It's a lot easier if I focus on my financial issues when I'm emotionally grounded. That's what I realized. It's a lot easier to approach anything negative when I'm emotionally grounded. It was a lot easier to deal with my with my breakup when I was emotionally grounded. If anything, at one point I've had one girlfriend in my life, ex-girlfriend. She's cool as shit. A lot of respect for her. She was actually a very good girl. I was just not, not really as committed as she was, in the sense that like she really was expecting this much time. I was only able to give her this much. I sensed she wanted to get married. I was not in that state, so I broke up with her. And when I broke up with her, when I worked out and I was like, you know what, focus on my training, focus on personally developing myself, the first while I felt great. I was like, man, good for her. I have a lot of respect for her. I love her in a certain way, like in the sense I have a lot of respect, care for her. I don't ill wish her anything ill, no negativity, no negative thoughts. It's only when I started sitting around doing fucking nothing and smoking weed and doing all this shit, and my mind went to a dark rabbit hole for no fucking reason. That's why when people go through a breakup, fuck man. When you're able to what happens with breakups is it fucks with our ego. When it fucks with our ego, we don't like feeling weak and feeling one up to whatever it is. So it forces us to personally develop ourselves. It has nothing to do with the relationships. It has everything to do with just like, okay, fuck, I don't like feeling like I'm weak. So that's why being bullied or being made fun of or someone pointing out our flaws that we can change is actually a kind of good thing, because it forces us to change and grow. Whenever I'm in that emotional negative state, like I said, it's a good opportunity to work out. That's why when I ask people why they're not consistent working out, one of the first things I kind of realize when people aren't consistent in working out, the first thing I kind of sense is, okay, they're emotionally unregulated in some sort of way. There's something that kind of makes them flip up and down. And when they're going emotionally up and down, when they're negative, they're going to an easy pleasure. Because everyone has a form of stress management, whether they're aware of it or not. Some people it's food, some people it's Netflix, some people it's porn, some people it's sex, some people it's marijuana, some people it's cocaine, whatever it is. What's the easy way out? So I just want, what's one thing I'm trying to assess when I ask my clients, because I'm no different. But I realized at a very young age, I can deal with any sort of my negativity by just doing a hard workout, being super disciplined in my workout. That's the secret. That's what I try to train for a lot of my clients. I am giving them the body, but the mindset to completely take control of your emotional state so you can deal with any sort of life challenges, that's what makes it so addictive. Because you kind of realize, like, shit, man, I don't want to be anyone else. I want to be myself, because I kind of realize I'm in control of my emotional state. I don't know what, for example, Brad Pitt's going through. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know what, for example, like P. Diddy's going through. I don't care about how much money they have and how much power and so. How do they feel inside? But I know for a fact I feel good inside. I can have absolutely nothing. I can have nothing. If anything, I live a very simple lifestyle. I have barely anything in my house. I have a bed, a work desk. I'm not attached to material things. I like material things, don't get me wrong. I have like a nice watch, I have a beautiful bicycle. But I mean, I don't really care too much, because I know if I'm not happy with how I feel within myself, I don't care. I go through my own fair share of family feuds and stuff like that, but I'm basically the anchor to the family. And I'm in the sense that I'm the one who's always just like emotionally grounded. Like, for example, if I know, for example, someone's bickering and arguing, I just know I'm like, don't get into them, don't say anything back, because if I say anything, I'm entering the world, then I'm entering an argument. You can win an argument, everyone goes down to a lower level, everyone's negative. And I realize in my circumstance, when I don't train and I'm more reactive, I'm more emotionally going to fall into that trap. But when I'm exercising all the time, I just see it, I'm just like, okay, they're negative, I'm calm, I'm not affected by it. That's why I keep telling people, strength training makes you mentally strong, it makes you emotionally stronger, it makes you spiritually stronger. It makes you able to withstand a lot of shit in life. So when I see someone with a physique that's fucking built like a truck, they put in the reps and sets, I see a guy who went through a lot of dark shit, who can handle a lot of stuff. That's why you never see a guy who's jacked, ripped, dense as a rock, fit as fuck, who's doing weak, pedophilic, abusive shit. Yeah, there are some people who probably overdo steroids and anabolic steroids, but that's a different conversation. Okay? You'll never see, like, for example, a beautiful, fit girl, fit, who's like single, doing way too much porn. You don't. They don't need to. Why would they? How often do you see a really, really fit girl who's abused? It's always someone who's a bit like, yeah, there's always a trend. So if you're feeling like you're being abused, your mood's a bit off, your emotions, or you're dealing with arguments, bad bosses, horrible bosses, if you just take your workouts and see as an opportunity to kind of like drive through the negativity, using the pain to drive you forward and push you harder than usual. What's crazy, the more dog shit you go through and the more you overcome in your workouts, the more you use that energy to overcome all that shit that you're going through in life, the more of a savage build you get. That's why when I see someone who's physically fit, jacked as fuck, I'm just like, this motherfucker overcame something crazy. I don't think I've ever seen someone with a physique that's just like savage, who's just like, yeah, I had a perfect life, and I had no mental challenges. I went to the gym because I felt fucking great to begin with. I felt happy all the time. It's never that way. So, like, not only did I have self-image issues, I also had I felt weak because everyone was just, I'm not the kind of guy to start a fight. So a lot of people are just talking shit all the time or just arguing with me. I'm not the kind of guy to like respond all the time. I'm kind of just like, leave me alone. But sometimes when you're put in the corner, you're forced to kind of deal with it. So just a bit of a reflection post for anyone who's getting into a lot of arguments, their mood is shit, their boss is shit, the relationship's fucked up, you have no self-confidence stuff, you're just emotional all the time, bipolar, anxiety, depression, whatever negative state they're in. I promise if you train hard enough for one day and you have the perfect workout that numbs you and there's no drugs and alcohol in your system, tell me how you feel. If you can do it for one day, you can do it every single fucking